Always focus on something, and that goes a long way. So joining me this morning is health and wellness coach April Lund. April, I'm sure you are very gung-ho about the Olympics. I see you're wearing the red, white, and blue right now.
I am. Yes,
Go Team USA, right?
That's right.
Now, I was going to go a different direction, but now you kind of inspired me. The Olympics, their focus right now on these athletes, it's almost more of a mental game sometimes than it is physical. Yeah. And that goes a long way when you're trying to compete something. So we're kind of focusing on mindfulness focus at one point. So
mindfulness is such a wonderful concept. And I think when you walk in a room, you can tell if someone is mindful or if someone is not mindful.
Yeah.
And they tend to be very charismatic, you're drawn to them. They don't have the same level of stress. And mindfulness, there's a podcast by Rich Roll with Dr. Ellen Langer, and it has changed my way of thinking, really opened my mind. And as an athlete, and just as a person, what we focus on is what we become. And it really talks about the power of the mind and how we influence our future with our mind. And it's just so powerful. And it's the same as I just broke an American record. And I knew going in, I did everything mentally, physically, but mentally was the biggest key to that. I visualized it over and over again, and I knew that I was going to succeed. And my coach used to tell me, you can talk yourself into a bad run, but and it's the truth, right?
Yeah, so it is. I mean, you could be 2 minutes into a run and have it feel like 30 minutes, right? Well, absolutely.
Even when we wake up in the morning, it's the same thing,
yeah.
Right? Like you can talk yourself into a bad day in the first 30 seconds, but you can also talk yourself into a good day too.
Absolutely. And so what we focus on is kind of like what we become. And so how do we take that into just a daily lifestyle, whether we're an athlete or not?
So I think a lot of people, and it talks about this in this book of mindfulness, do what's called defensive pessimism.
Okay.
And it's you hope for the best, but you expect the worst. And that wouldn't be a problem except for the fact that what we think does influence our outcome. So when you expect bad, you get bad. Like, have you ever went to go have lunch with a friend and you're like, oh, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah, should I cancel? Should I not?
And so it turns out terrible most of the time, right? So once again, what you focus on is what you become. So what you expect is how it is. What you're looking for is what you find. Yeah. It's like if you're looking for like a yellow Subaru and you've never seen a yellow Subaru, and they're everywhere now, right?
That's funny. Exactly that on a road trip. Okay, spot out all the American flags. All of a sudden you see 500 of them.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so how do we just put this into our perspective now, kind of just follow suit through it? How do we find ourselves thinking straight now?
Yeah, so I think a really big way to become mindful is we have to, and they talk about this in the book, is to talk about being okay with things being uncertain, and because our thoughts are so powerful. So a lot of people stress out because they think there has to be the right decision. How about whatever decision you make is the right decision? Like people when they're planning for the wedding, like you would know, right? They think, well, the decorations have to be this way, or it has to be like this, and if we let go of that and just the way that it is okay.
Yeah.
Life becomes a lot better.
So you're saying it's okay for something to go wrong?
But who says it's wrong?
Right, okay.
But who says it's wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if we let go of the way that things we think they're supposed to be and do our best and go with what's happening, things are going to turn out just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you've made it through 100% of the things that you've been through.
Right? Or 100%. What's the Wayne Gretzky quote?
I have no clue.
You make it through 100% of the shots you can't take. I don't know.
Yes.
So what about when we look at something, you kind of already touched upon it, but like the glass is half full, half empty.
Yeah,
that
so
matters.
Our perception is important. So if we look at the glass as half full, things look better, right? Like we don't have that scarcity mentality. But when we look at the glass as half empty, we're always worried about where our next drink is going to come from. And I think a lot of people go through life with that perception of not enough. But what if we are enough? What if what's in our life is enough? It's not about what you haven't. Growing up poor was the best thing that ever happened to me. The struggle was the best thing that ever happened because it's not about what I have, it's about what I do with what I have. And that is so important.
So you kind of live through experience that you already have, grow upon that in a way? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, every day is a building block too. And I also think you have to stay focused on today. You can't be stuck in yesterday and you can't be stuck in tomorrow, right? The decisions we're making today are fine and they're important, and just stay present in that moment and be mindful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
April, last question here. We're out of
Yes.
time, but what are you looking forward to in track and field?
Oh my God, all of the things, like the 100-meter, the 5,000, you name it, like I can't even wait. Like
Are you
gymnastics,
going
everything.
to Paris at all?
I am not going to
Okay.
Paris, but I do
Okay.
have the Worlds in 13 days.
Oh, well, big congrats to you. We'll look
Thanks.
forward to hearing what
Thank you.
happens out there, and it's going to be
Thank
great.
you. Yes.
Thank